Hello and welcome to this segment of Bring It On. I'm Ray Tabano. I'm going to be your host tonight, and we're going to talk a little bit about some music and some local bands that we have here tonight. And tonight, a band that we're featuring is a band called the OL'Mofos, and they're sitting right to my left over here. And we have Broadway Joe Cos.
How you doing, Ray?
How you doing, Joe? Good to see you.
Always a pleasure, my brother.
Yeah, me too. I'm right there with you. You know, Joe is one of these guys that if you're in a band in Yonkers, man, and you want to play in another band, you have had to play in the band with this guy. This guy has played with every single musician that I ever knew in my whole life, man. He's been around for a long, long time.
Thank you.
Right next to him, we have Hank Fang Dunn. Okay. Hank's looking very mysterious tonight.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. But the problem with Hank, what happened tonight was he went to the early bird special, and when he went to the cleaners to pick up his pants, they were closed. So
there you go.
We're going to have to do the beach special tonight, man.
That's right. I robbed Ray Charles' sunglasses.
Yeah, that's true. This is true, man. The guy's a gifted musician. He's a wonderful songwriter and a great performer. And right next to him, we have Chicago's own.
Yeah.
Over here,
Scott
Ryan up on bass, also with backup vocals. So we're going to play a little bit of their music tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with these guys, and Bring It On is kind of like structured to talk about local bands and what's going on in the community. And it's a wonderful thing that they're doing here. And all these local guys need your support out there. So when you hear them playing in the neighborhood, we want you to go to their website. We're going to flash up on the screen at one point where you can find out all the information about the Bring It On show and where the bands are playing, so you can support the bands. We're going to hear a little bit of their music now. We're going to start off with a couple of songs. One of the songs we're going to start off with is a song called Rise Up that was written by Hank and his wife, Catherine. What I was told was, we were talking a little bit on the way up here, and he was talking to me about how him and his wife used to sit around, they would write songs, and do stuff for fun. And this particular song came out, and what they were talking about in this song is about when they were young and in their families, and the way it was back then, a lot of people didn't have a lot of things. They were struggling when you had a lot of children back, in the days and stuff like that. And when someone would have a little extra, they would pass a little bit around, man. And that's how they would help each other out. And sometimes one person would have it, and sometimes another person would have it. And so they did it. And this song is written about that. It's about once you start to rise up and you start to to get a little better, to help the guy behind you. It's kind of like an inspirational song. He was telling me that he's not really a gospel guy, but his song has some spiritual stuff to it, and
spiritual.
It does have a good message, Even though the guy is an OL'Mofo, it was funny because on the way up here we were talking about how when we were younger, at this time of night, at 9 o'clock at night, or whatever it is, we'd be getting ready to go out and party and stuff. And now we're sitting over there and we're putting the Metamucil in the thing so we can have a sip of stuff, so we'll be able to go to the bathroom and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Things have changed, man. We're getting a little old, but the music is still the same, right? The music is still powerful, man. The music still moves us all, man. And that's why we're glad that guys like this have been around so long, are still doing it, man. Because they know what's going on and they're playing the music that is dear to our heart, man. Rock and roll is still the same basic thing, man. It still touches us, man, from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And that's what these guys are doing for us tonight. And I think we're ready to bring a song on right now. So let's listen to the first song. It's called Rise Up, the OL'Mofos.
Getting old, we just getting started. It's time to climb a mountain. Everybody hand in hand, all of us brothers and sisters in each and every land. There's only one way to be truly free. One people, one world, we've got to be. Patrick Henry said it best. He said, give me liberty or give me death. Rise up, people, and help all other people rise up.
right, we're back. That was pretty interesting. I was there when they taped that particular song on that show. It was a local show. We had in Irvington, and these guys came up there and played, and a lot of people came out to see you guys that day, didn't they?
It was a good night, man. We had a lot of good friends come and show up, and it was a nice place, real nice place to play.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was old-time theater. I found it ironic. It's above the police station, which I thought that's the way it was back in the old.
Well, yeah, the old days, though, you'd be in the police station, not on the stage.
Being that we're OL'Mofo should play the old theaters. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah. They've been doing a lot of that up here in Westchester County. They've been reviving a lot of beautiful old theaters.
Peekskill Theater over here,
right over here, and in
Tarrytown,
and all those
real
places.
nice, real nice places, man.
And the thing is, they're set up. They are set up so bands like yourselves and other local bands can come in and get a really full sound and be on an actual stage instead of going into a club where they're eating dinner and they move 2 tables away and they give you 47 square inches to put your drums and the piano and 3 amps, and they say, okay, guys, put a show on. Not that easy anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
It's the business has changed in some ways for the better. In some ways, it's tougher. It's very competitive. There's a lot of tremendous talent out there. I think today, what young musicians need to do today is to make sure that, besides learning their skills, make sure you get a good education, make sure you have something to fall back on, make sure that you can keep your family fed, do the things that are necessary, to make your life better. It helps you make better music, frankly.
But still rock and roll.
Oh, no, of course. I mean, rock and roll is something that never, it really comes down to that beat, that feel, that groove. And that's something, no matter how the industry changes, is always going to remain.
Here's one for you old guys. Dan and the Juniors said it all. Rock and roll will never die.
There you go.
It is here to stay.
There
you know
you
what
go.
I'm saying? Let's talk a little bit about this next song that we're going to put up on the monitor for us. It's called the Rock and Roll Fang, and you had an interesting story you told me about it.
Yeah, it's basic. My wife and I, when the kids were young, we always had cartoons on TV. And Rock and Roll Fang is basically a dedication to all of the cartoon dogs you ever knew, whether it was, right, like Astro, and actually even starting with regular TV with Soupy Sales with Black Tooth and White Fang, yeah, kind of thing, and Dastardly and Muttley, and
Muttley was my dog.
I used to love Soupy. You'd be like, oh really, Fang? That's true. I'll see you later. And you had the hand out there like this, with the glove on it. It was.
I like the Snorsage dog. Remember the Snorsage dog?
Sausages.
Snorsages. As a matter of fact, when I had
Bacon.
The bacon dog was my favorite.
I did it myself, but I don't have thumbs.
Love this guy. So you went out and wrote a song about that, huh?
Yeah. So, and also Fang was.
We read about some strange shit.
This guy's a sick individual.
Fang is.
He needs help. This person over here, man.
Fang is more. Also, was earlier in my career, I used to do a lot of Hendrix stuff, and some of that involved playing with your teeth. So, I kind of got that nickname. Now that I'm older, I don't do it as much, because when you have more prescription bottles than teeth, that's when you're an old mofo.
You can take the teeth out and put them on the guitar.
Now.
You don't have to put the guitar in your mouth anymore.
But that's basically where that song, the idea from that song came from, the cartoon dogs.
That's pretty funny, man. I like that, man, because I take an interest in where songs come from. I envision myself. I put a few albums out and singles out myself, and I'm a songwriter myself. And it's funny the way songs come to you. I've written songs where I've had an idea and I wrote it on a scrap of paper, like a one line, and I'll put it someplace in a drawer somewhere, and then 2 years later, I'll open the drawer up and I'll see the thing, I'll pick it up, and the song will just pop right out, man. You know what I'm saying?
The next record that we're working on, which is called The Elephant Hotel, will be out as soon as possible. The title track from that album, 10, 15 years ago, I was driving up Route 100 over here, and I passed this building, and it was just, there's something about this building that just hit me. And 15, 20 years later, we're writing a song about it. It just...
Yeah, he sent the lyrics to me, and I thought it was a great story, so we made just some changes, and Joe and I have been together for many, many years, almost, I would say close to 30 years now. We've worked in numerous other projects. It's funny you were mentioning before how, up here in Westchester, most musicians have to play with him. Well, down in my neck of the woods, which is the Brooklyn area, you know, Joe and I worked together as basically as session musicians for like Irish bands. We were kind of like hired guns basically out there, and so we have a history together that way. And we had another band, the Jackals.
We found the Rhino Man.
Oh, the Rhino, yeah.
From a wonderful thing called Facebook.
That's right.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Really?
Right, we were going through some personnel changes, and he found out that we were looking for somebody, and he jumped right in, and he was a blessing, really.
Turns out Hank and I played the same stage like 25 years
Great
ago
Gildersleeve.
in different bands.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it started to click.
We were on the same bill many times. He was in a band called Steelhouse, and I was in a group called the Barlow Sample Band, which was like an R&B Steely Dan type, you know, band. And he was like in one of the earlier progressive hard rock bands at the time.
Couldn't get arrested.
Oh, yeah, that was tough.
He told me his background, like, you know, the bands that he used to like were like Blue Cheer and Cactus and guys like that, real heavy, hard stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Cactus, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beck Bogart and Apis and all those things.
You know,
that came
Mike
from that.
Pinera is playing. He's playing in the new version of the Yardbirds. He'll be touring with the Yardbirds coming up next tour, man. Yeah,
It's great.
fantastic guitar player.
But anyway, it was good to get him. We had started out with somebody else who was real good, but they felt it was time to make a move for themselves, and we were able to get Scott. And it's been great to have him. I think he was the last piece that we needed.
Wohelo means love.
Yes.
God bless you. Okay, we're gonna run this clip right now. This is
Rock and Roll Fang,
Rock
right?
and Roll Fang, man. Let's go!
I was born in a cave where nobody knows. Deep in the forest where the cold wind blows. My papa was a wolf, my mama was a hound. Ever since I was a puppy, I've been rock and roll bound. That's right. It's me. I'm the rock and roll man. Now each and every night I'll be on the prowl. Turn that music up, I commence to howl. When the moon is full, you will hear me sing. Look out for the mother-loving rock and roll thing. That's right. It's me. I'm that rock and roll banger.
And we're back. All right, that was great, guys.
Thanks, Ray.
Love that, man. You know, it's funny how you can
It's a
take
fun song.
No, but it's funny how you can take something that's like a cartoon and make a rock song out of it. Because I tell you something. So many musicians, and I'm one of them. When we had nothing to do during the day, we would watch the Three Stooges and cartoons all day long.
We had thought about doing a video that way for that song, of creating a cartoon type video.
I had
for
so
that.
many ideas for this thing. I
Yeah.
wanted to create like an actual dog
Oh, he
cartoon
drew some
character.
pictures of one.
And my good friend Kuda Vendetta, as we go along, I'm going to try to pursue that. But I would like to take this time to say that I'm so happy that Ray is doing this with us, because I've been such good friends with Ray for so long. But your shirt is giving me vertigo, dude. I'm going to fall off the chair, but I love that shirt. I do. Look at that shirt.
I
man.
still say one of the
me tell you
Ninja
something.
Turtles is walking around bare
Okay,
chested
you
right
can
now.
talk, say anything you want, man. Okay, say anything you want, but Go down to 125th Street in Harlem, okay? You want to buy some slick clothes? That's where you go, man.
Yeah, Psychedelic
That's
Shack. That's where it's
I'm
at.
gonna go with you, brother.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
see, the
what
thing
you're
is,
supposed to tell
I'll wear it
me,
well,
down to the
man.
hood.
You gotta wear it well, man.
what you're supposed to tell me when I say something like that is kiss my.
Entire
Kiss my entire.
ass.
That's it, man. Okay.
I didn't know we could
and that's
say
it.
that on
That's the
the
next
table.
song we're going to talk about coming up.
Yes,
because I
indeed.
love this song because this has happened to every guy I ever met in my life, man. He goes out with this chick, right? You know, and all of a sudden, like, she gets tired of him and she decides she wants to move on to bigger and better things. So she goes to move on to bigger and better things. And then, you know, the next guy she gets, he says, you know what, you know, you're really not all that, honey. I said, maybe you should go back where you came from. And then she comes crawling back to me or to some other guy. And what does he tell her?
Well, I know one thing. Plenty of guys come home and Alice is doing the mamba, but she ain't doing the mamba on the moon. She's doing the mamba in your bedroom.
I get a lot of satisfaction out of singing that song because you know you can actually say to your ex lover that you know
Kiss my ass.
Pretty much.
The title was inspired when Catherine, my wife, and I were watching this movie Harlem Nights on TV.
I know that movie.
And
I love
Della
that
Reese,
movie.
who stole the movie, Della Reese, who in my opinion stole the whole movie, she gets into it with Eddie Murphy and she looks at him and she says, "Kiss my entire ass." And we were like, that's a great title for a song. And we just went from there. And it came right out.
And that's where
quickly.
you got that from.
That's the base. Yeah, the story behind it, as you said.
Yeah,
You know.
but I'm saying.
But yeah, the actual what started it going, what the hook that was created was based upon, you know,
The
hearing
line in that-
the line in that song, and rather in that movie, and hearing that and going, you know,
That was a great movie when they locked Danny Aiello up in the safe. And he
Oh,
goes,
that-
he goes,
yeah.
"You're not going to leave me here in the safe
Yeah.
with no air." Eddie Murphy goes, he goes, "Take small breaths."
Yeah. My favorite part is when she comes in to talk to the Godfather, and she says, "I'm an honest hoe, and all my hoes is honest."
Great movie, man. But it's funny because I remember one time I was putting a band together back in the '90s. I was looking for a name, a title for the band. Like I brand myself as Crazy Raymond, and I always tell everybody my mother gave me that name because when I was young I was very wild, and she would always say, "Are you Crazy Raymond?" And I said, you know, that'd be a great name for a thing. I need a name for a band. I'm watching this movie called Joe Hollywood or something like that, starring Joe Pesci's in the movie, and in the movie they go, you know, he's like one of these vigilante guys, and they say, "Why do you do all this, man? Why do you do all this?" He goes, "Somebody's got to be the watchdogs."
There you go.
And I said, "There it is, man."
Right,
and,
Scott?
and that was the name of my band,
Absolutely.
Crazy Raymond and the Watchdogs. I got it the same way. You
This
hear
was my
you hear
favorite
these
song
things.
when I first heard the album. I listened to this. I had to listen to it about 4 or 5 times in a row before I could do it with a straight face. Because
It's very
every
true.
time the chorus came up, I was like, "That's it," you know.
Everywhere we
cracking
play that
up.
live, that's what people say. I mean, people really
Oh, yeah.
remember. They remember the other tunes, of course, also.
And
But
everybody who hears it once.
I've had
Sorry.
people walk down the street after seeing us and look at me and go, "The kiss my ass guy." You know, kiss my ass.
The
you know?
Japanese tourist guy goes, "Look, kiss my ass, man, kiss my ass."
Is that for real?
Yeah, I've run into some Indian guys that said kissing us, kissing us, yes.
So good, man. Yeah, it's nice to tell a little story about it like that, and then people can relate to what's going on with it, man. Are we
have
getting
the
ready to
dancers-
play another
the
clip right now?
dancers
We
are
have
Dancers,
coming
yeah.
up?
On this clip, we had the dancers, which came from SUNY.
Oh yeah, that
And,
was great.
And those girls, they were great to have. You know, and SUNY is at Purchase. Actually, is a great music school and a great art school. You know, pursue different things, dancing and acting and whatever. So you know,
Great
it
to
was
have
great to have them. You
Good.
know, a lot of fun.
All right, so without any further ado, it's time for everybody to kiss their ass. Let's roll that.
Now that I'm gonna hope you realize how good I was to you. I'm finally happy with somebody else after what you put me through. I used to live in pain, smile on my face. We never had a half a home. Well, it was rough and tough till I had enough with you leaving me all alone. I just heard from another that your other lover is no longer on the case. And you're asking people where I am if you think you're gonna see my face. You can kiss my ass and ring the bell. I already know what you got to comes around, now it's coming down on you. Well, some people say that I should forget, and I should forget. You won't think I big mistake that I still regret. So you can kiss my ass and ring the bell. I already know what you got to say. Kiss my ass, kiss that ass. Hear what I say. Kiss my entire head.
Oh yeah, man. Great video.
Those girls can boogie.
Those girls.
They can dance.
Yeah,
I almost
they
got
know what's
kicked in the
going on,
head
man.
a couple of times.
I like what I see, man. I
They
see-
didn't like you.
Or they did like me.
What's not to like about Scott? Come on, he's quiet, he's laid back, he plays awesome bass. Come on. What's the matter with you guys?
Scott is a natural relaxant. It's kind of like the walking volume.
He's a walking vibe. Listen, before we go any further, let's talk a little bit about your album that you have out, you know, and how people can get it, and you know how we can purchase it and find out what's going on with you guys. And you want to take
Well,
a
the album is available on worldwide on most of the major digital platform retailers that you can find. iTunes has it. You go to iTunes, you type in OL'Mofos, it'll come up. Same thing with Amazon.
OL''.
MOFOS. All right, or you could just type in OL and then space MOFOS. It'll bring you to how you can order it. It's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's on Google. And depending if you live in Europe, they have their versions of it. It's in Australia on Django. It's on a lot of different platforms. There are some hard copies available. If anybody wants, they can contact us. How you find us? You could Google us. OL''Mofos, and that'll show you how you can access our Reverb Nation site, which is www.reverbnation.com/OL'Mofos. All right. Also, we're on Facebook. You just go to Facebook. You type in OL''Mofos, and on Facebook. There's a lot of great stuff on there. There are videos on there from earlier days, pictures of us, from when we started out. We also use our Facebook page. As you probably gathered by now, we're not just a regular rock band. We're pretty funny guys. We like to have fun. Of course,
I'll tell you, I got no reason.
we run contests like, fill in the blank. You're an OL'Mofo when, or you're an OL'Mofo when blank, stuff like that.
I just want to take a little piece of time to say our good buddy Steve Deanna helped us out a lot with that show, and actually getting us on here too.
You mean that guy hiding in the shadows over there, running the whole thing?
We really appreciate that,
guy over
because
there?
you need people like that to help a
Listen,
band
without
like
guys
this.
like him, there'd be
get to
nothing
where we need to
happening,
get
man.
to.
Believe
That's
it.
it.
Well, because it's so important to take the way the industry is today. There's so many independent acts out there that are really, really good, and that if somebody were to give them a chance and give them a shot, the world
might
is
be able to do something.
The world is not established music, signed acts. There's a lot of good stuff out there that if you give it a chance.
It's not the same crap all the big record companies try to stuff down your throat all the time.
It's funny because when I was younger and I moved up to Boston with Steven Tyler, and we got together with Joe Perry. We put Aerosmith together. And we were struggling like everybody else. We were a regular band,
You guys know.
And I left and I did other things, but one of the blessings in my life is that I have been around the music scene my whole life on a lot of levels. I'm still very friendly with those guys. I'm going out tomorrow night to hang out with Robin from Cheap Trick, and they're going to go watch Peter Frampton play and stuff like that. And I've got to see a lot of musicians and got to be involved in a lot of music on a lot of levels, man. But like what's going on with you guys and with Steve and this Bring It On thing is it really is necessary to bring the music of the people that are real people. that are playing around. They're not, they're not the kind of guys that, they put a song out and they go on tour all over the world and they play 15 things. It's guys like, like you guys, that have regular jobs, but you play every weekend, man. You bring the music to the people.
That's it, man.
You're still making records. You're still touring. You're still playing. You're still writing. You're still carrying the message of rock and roll, man. The message of freedom, man. Yeah, we're still partying, man. Because that's what that part of this whole
We
thing
do
is,
it
man.
because we love it, but
It's for the love of the music more than anything.
it's tough, man. It ain't like it used to be, brother. We ain't 25 anymore.
Nothing good comes easy. Listen, we're about to wrap this whole thing up. So remember, just tune in to Bring It On, man. Okay, I'm Ray Tabano, your host. We got the OL'Mofos here. We're going to take it out with their last big song, man. Okay, it's called Churches and Bars. We didn't get to talk about it too much, man.
Which is the title track of the album.
Yeah,
title track of the album.
it's a title track. It's basically based upon, where I come from in Greenpoint. On one side of the street, you have a church. On the other side of the street, you had a bar, which is very good for our Christians. Us Christians, it's very convenient.
And you had a choice. So we're going to wrap it up and say thank you so much for watching tonight. The OL'Mofos. Here they are one more time.
Hey.
All right.
I was walking down Nassau Avenue. Just got into town, didn't have a clue. Ow. Met an old timer, he was mighty right. He said, "Sit down, son, I'm gonna give you advice. When the times are bad, when the times are good, take a good look around the neighborhood. There's a church, there's a bar, either one's not very far. And no matter where you are, either one's not very far." I was walking down Manhattan Avenue. It's Friday, I just got paid, I'm looking to lift me a few. I'm gonna find a bar that ain't uptight. I'll go to church on Sunday, but I'm drinking tonight. I do what I want, I pray when I can. All I know is I'm a drinking man. There's a church, there's a bar, either one's not very far. And no matter where you are, either one's not very far. There's a church.